All right, 7th graders. So we're going to be collecting data for part 1 of our lab today, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce our contestants for you today. You guys might recognize Mr. Nicholson. He will be representing our tweezer bird beak lab. Miss Shockley is going to be representing our fork bird beak, while practical to eat, not so much for birds. Okay, Mr. Goyette has the, what is that, clothespin, and Mr. Roberts has a binder clip. Okay, first round, their only food source is going to be pinto beans, and they are going to have 1 minute to eat. Each of their little cups represents their stomachs. They are not allowed to touch their stomachs. They can only put food into their stomachs with the beak, and they can only eat one source of food at a time, so one piece at a time. So on my mark, get set, go. Look at those ravenous birds go. If you guys could make some bird noises, that would be great. I really couldn't have picked a better selection of specimen here, guys. Those are some fine. Oh, you spilled his stomach contents. You guys are modeling great behavior for my students. Mr. Nicholson, you can put your cup back up if you need to. And put your bird beaks down, okay? If you guys want to take a second, go ahead and count the contents of your stomach, and we will get some data for our kids at home.
I know, I thought I would too, but this is not very good.
All right, Mr. Goyette, how many did you end up getting?
7.
So with the clothespin, you got 7 pinto beans.
Not as easy as I thought.
We got Mr. Roberts doing it mathematically over here, grouping it by 5s, of course.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 29.
29 pinto beans with the binder clip. Miss Shockley?
I have 18.
18 with the old fork. I'm impressed. And Mr. Nicholson, tweezers?
24.
24. All right, we're going to go ahead, get a new selection of food. I'm going to regret this later. And our next food source will be macaroni. So we'll go ahead, spread out the macaroni. Prepare your beaks. You guys have 1 minute to count. On your marks, get set, go.
I'm going to die. Gotta go there and die.
You can tell someone here teaches science as well.
We need a bigger one.
Oh man, what if it didn't make it in the stomach?
30 seconds left. It's the sound of a cuckoo bird feeding. 8 seconds for survival.
Oh, it's interesting how the curve is a little bit harder this time.
All right, put your beaks down. Go ahead and count the contents of your stomachs.
Oh, nice job.
3.
3. Oh.
Mr. Goyette with his clothespins has a whopping 3 macaroni.
I'm tired.
You can go ahead and throw those back in the pan. How many do you have, Mr. Nicholson, with your tweezers?
41.
41, not too shabby. You can go ahead and dump yours back in the pan. Mr. Roberts?
21.
21 with the old binder clip.
17.
17 with the fork. All right, if you guys go ahead and dump them back in there. I will dump them back in my little cup. Look at that. Making quite the mess. All right, next on the old menu is a hearty helping of rubber bands. Alrighty, so you guys, as usual, have 1 minute to win it. Every second counts. Go. That focus.
We can only pick up one at a time, right?
One at a time.
One at a time.
Otherwise,
Trouble, yeah.
don't choke. Don't choke.
I think my bird's on the way to death anyway. Starving to death. Malnutrition.
Oh! I've seen that happen with real birds and worms before. But only then. Had a little Lady in the Tramp moment here. A little romance setting here on the old bird Beak Lab. Oh, there's some hungry birds today.
Taking my food.
Oh. Stop it. No. You got no.
5 seconds.
This one.
All right, go ahead and count the contents of your cup. Oh boy, you guys were hungry little birds. And when you guys are done, you can throw them back in the master cup there. All right, Mr. Roberts, what'd you get?
24.
24 with the binder clip. Mr. Goyette?
10.
10 with the clothespin.
16.
16 with the fork.
28.
28 with the tweezers.
Best beak.
All right, last round is one of my favorites. Toothpicks. All right, on your mark, get set, go.
One at a time.
There's no way. Oh.
Delish. Who doesn't love to eat a little toothpick or two?
Trying to get just one
Yep, that's fine.
is the trick. I'll take that one. There.
Get out of here. Taking my food.
He's a mean bird.
He is a mean bird.
At the rate he's going to be a chubby little bird.
I know, right?
He flies a lot.
It's a lot of fiber in your diet, Mr. Nicholson.
I'm hungry.
6 seconds. Hey, at least some of you guys won't have many to count. All right, go ahead. Put your bird beaks down. Count your toothpicks.
5.
Miss Shockley, how many?
5.
5 with the fork.
12 with the toothpick.
12 with the clothespin.
Clothespin, I'm sorry. Clothespin.
20.
20 with the binder clip. That's not too shabby.
Yeah.
And old Mr. Tweezers over here. Still counting. No pressure. Just wait for you. No big deal. Don't lose your count.
32.
32 with the tweezers. All right, so that concludes part 1 of your lab. And stay tuned for part 2.